What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Gotham Knights on the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, this was something that I was asked by you guys to make a video of when the game was delayed, and I'll be flat out honest with you. I completely forgot. I completely forgot it for a little while. I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about for this video? And I was like, oh, you know what? This would be a good one. So this is something that is interesting. Now, obviously, I don't have the answers, right? This is just purely speculation on my part, and it's up to you guys if you want to believe me. If you don't want to believe me, form your own opinions. I always say that for all these videos. But we talked about this with Hogwarts Legacy as well. When Hogwarts Legacy was delayed back in January, it was delayed from whenever in 2021, I would assume again like November, to whenever in 2022, I still kind of assume a November, probably like a full year delay. People were asking then too, you know, does the game drop, whatever you want to call it. I call it last gen support, PS4 and Xbox One. So same thing for Gotham Knights. So I want to kind of go over the options in this video. As always, if you guys are new here or if you've been here and you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do hit that red subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. As you know, I do a new Gotham Knights video every 5 or so days. I try to do at least one a week, especially with the delay and a lack of news. You know, kind of separating them is probably good so people don't think I'm milking it, or, you know, nobody gets the wrong ideas here, right? And final thing, if you guys super like my content, I do have a second channel. It's called Podcast Now Plus. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. I do a daily video every day there, so it's not nearly as much as over here, okay? So look, if it was up to me, you know, I'm a very pro moving things into next gen, okay? I've said that for a while. I've gotten in so much trouble, quote unquote trouble, as in anytime I say that in videos, or if the video is kind of designed around that idea, it gets downvoted like I've never seen before, okay? So I get it's not a popular opinion, and I understand, especially if you literally cannot get the PS5 or Xbox Series X or S. It's very rough to hear somebody say, oh yeah, I just want them to stop supporting the one you have and move on to the next one, but you're like, well, I can't get it. Okay, so that's the, you know, the affording thing. Obviously, that's a issue as well, right? Whether you can or cannot actually afford the money. And trust me, in the economy that we're in and all the stuff going on around the world, I don't blame you if you can't afford it either. So it is tough. It is tough. From a pure business standpoint, you do want to eventually move to only the newer generation of consoles, okay? Because if you keep supporting the old one, there's not as much incentive to buy the new one. So that's from a business perspective, you're not going to sell as many of the new one, you would make less money, all that stuff. And then from a gaming perspective, from like the quality of the game, you are forcing developers to still make games 1, 2, 3, 4 years into the next gen life cycle that can still run on the last one, and that just by pure facts lowers, I would say, the quality in terms of graphics, in terms of how it performs, in terms of the scale they can go, loads and loads and loads of other things, by the way. But that's, you know, that's what it does as well. So I understand, you know, the first 3 minutes I'm kind of making the pitch to make it only on next gen. The tough thing is this. 2021 to 2022, yes, that's a year, and I think we can all do math, right? That's a year. And I think if it was all normal, I actually do think the year jump would have maybe taken it completely out of being on last gen, which, by the way, it has happened before that games are announced for certain platforms and they're taken off. Okay, that has happened before, all right? So that's something to keep in mind. Now, it's few and far in between. It's not normally these big games like a Gotham Knights. I will make the prediction that Gotham Knights will still be on current gen for a couple of reasons. Number one, if the game was supposed to come out this year, it's delayed till next year. That means they are still working on it for both. Okay, so like they were working on it for PS4, Xbox One right now. They still would be the entire time. It doesn't mean that they have to flat out drop it. Same thing for Hogwarts Legacy. Although that game may come out late 2022, 2 years after next gen is out. Again, I would argue that's around the time you start to pull the plug. And I think, again, under normal circumstances, they probably would. But the fact is, the game was supposed to come out 1 year after, which is a lot different. And again, I know it's only a year, but when you have consoles' life cycle only being 5 to 7 years, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7, that's a high percentage of the life cycle, right? So a full year makes a difference, but it was delayed. It was delayed a full year. Beyond that, you still have the problems with people buying these things. You have financial worries and economics and all that stuff, but a big thing that's plagued this generation, I'm sure you all know this, right, is that these consoles, especially the PS5, it seems like, is next to impossible to get. Now, the PS5 has sold over 6 million units. In fact, if they announce, I believe within the next month or so, that they've sold 7, it would actually be outselling the PS4, which is insane at the same time of the PS4, which is insane because the PS4 obviously did insanely well. But the thing is, I think the PS5 would crush, and not just, our Xbox I think would honestly sell really well too. They would all crush it. But the issue is you can't get them. People that want the PS5 can, I mean, yes, okay, if you have to, I would say if you really want a PS5, you could probably get it. You have to really be on Twitter. You have to be watching the right people that tell you when different queues open up or restocks are there. I think you can get one. But a casual person or even somebody that's not trying all that hard, they can't get a next-gen console. So to, again, have your game be only on that console, that is very rare. You can't just walk into a store and buy a PS5 yet, or an Xbox Series X or S yet. To have a game only be on that is pretty rough. And this is coming from the guy that actually supports that kind of basic idea. So see, I'm up for different opinions. I can change my mind on some things, right? I can see it from other perspectives. This is just to a couple of people that maybe think certain things about me if they're watching. But yeah, I think, as my prediction, I would say the game still comes out on basically all consoles. Sales is the biggest thing. I mean, I know we just talked about how hard it is to find this unicorn that is the PS5, but in reality, it's also sales. Flat out, if you only have, now it's going to be a full year from now, say you have like 15 million PS5s, and I know I'm just using PlayStation. PlayStation makes their numbers a lot more known than Xbox does. That's just a fact as well. So say 15 million, okay? 15 million's a lot. But you may sell 1, maybe 2 million on that. Maybe you sell a lot more. Maybe people wait for the next-gen one to get it. We're seeing that with Miles Morales, right? Miles actually sold really not good the first month or so, but has every month done really well because it seems like people only want the game on the PS5. And by the way, I don't blame them, but like you're seeing something very different than what you normally see with game sales, right? It could happen for Gotham Knights. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but that's just something to keep in mind. But you have a higher percentage chance of getting more people on the console that's got 115 million units sold, the PS4, or even Xbox. So Xbox One is, I think, around like 55 million, 60 million. You would have more people there than you would that has a Series X or S that, say, has 10 million at the time that Gotham Knights comes out. There's a lot more of them. Now, you're not going to get everybody. The percentage, like the latch-on percentage, is not going to be very high for last gen, but you're going to have people. In fact, you may have more people there than you still have on next gen because people are still upgrading to it. People are still trying to get it. So from Warner Bros. Perspective, yeah, I mean, it sucks because it may be outdated. Maybe it won't run or it won't look as well as maybe it should. You know what I mean? That's the thing that actually we haven't talked so much about, is that I don't know how much more improved the game will look and feel being delayed a year. But like if the game was designed to be a 2021 game, it comes out in 2022, maybe it won't have that 2022 feel, which is, it's subjective. I will give you that. But you have that as well. So like that will be a potential weakness of this game. It could be a potential weakness of Hogwarts Legacy. It could be a potential weakness of any of these games that are getting delayed a long time. But you have that as your negative, but your positive is you'll sell more units. You know what I mean? Whereas if you only do it on next gen, yeah, it may run better. It may just be better overall because of that, but you are slashing the amount of people that could buy your game. Not even in half. It would be like in a quarter or a fifth or even a sixth, right? Depending on what you're talking about. So I believe it'll come out on all consoles. I don't think you have anything to worry about there. I mean, again, I don't know. I don't work there, so I don't know for sure. But that would just be my personal opinion. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it'll release only on next gen? Do you think it'll release on everything? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, all that good stuff. Again, new video every 5 or so days, at least once a week, kind of boiled down. If you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, link for that is in the description below. Would love to have you guys over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.